How the fuck are you festering, fornicating fudge tunnels doing today? It's the Aussie Metalhead here again. Fucking weekend. We finally fucking made it again. Sorry, this is a bit of a late video. I didn't get around to doing any of the projects I was planning on doing this week. It's just been so busy. Ended up spending my day off playing bass pretty much all day, so I didn't get the chance to make this video then. But we're here. We're doing it now. Let's fucking get into it. So if you hadn't guessed already from the fucking title of the video and the fact that I'm standing up again, this is another edition of Bands You Should Be Listening To. This is Volume 2. If you want to check out the Volume 1 that I did a few weeks ago, fucking go ahead. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different this time, since this is the Aussie Metalhead channel after all. We haven't really talked about too much Aussie metal. I've talked about some Thy Art Is Murder. I've talked about some Parkway Drive. All of the big name bands that you would expect hearing about Australian metal. But today we're going to be looking into the subterranean underground of Australian metal. We're going to be focusing mainly on Western Australian bands, as it is where I come from, heralding from Perth, Western Australia. Planning on making this whole video about local bands. I will be leaving links to all of the band's merch and Bandcamp pages below, so if you feel like being a bit of a fucking legend, go ahead, check them out. Pay for the fucking music, because I'm about to enlighten you guys onto some cranking tunes, man. Let's fucking get this started. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different this time, since this is the Aussie Metalhead channel after all. We haven't really talked about too much Aussie metal. I've talked about some Thy Art Is Murder. I've talked about some Parkway Drive. All of the big name bands that you would expect hearing about Australian metal. But today we're going to be looking into the subterranean underground of Australian metal. We're going to be focusing mainly on Western Australian bands, as it is where I come from, heralding from Perth, Western Australia. Planning on making this whole video about local bands. I will be leaving links to all of the band's merch and Bandcamp pages below, so if you feel like being a bit of a fucking legend, go ahead, check them out. Pay for the fucking music, because I'm about to enlighten you guys onto some cranking tunes, man. Let's fucking get this started. Gonna kick this off with some fucking raw, catchy, brutal, melodic black metal. This is Bunbury's Septillion. These guys have released their debut album a few years ago called Inheritance. It is absolutely fucking cranking. This band is definitely for fans of Behemoth, Satyricon, and the very melodic death metal, blackened death metal area. It's absolutely fantastic. These guys write catchy fucking songs. Fairly simplistic, but very fucking effective, man. Aiden Vestergaard, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly there, bro, has an awesome fucking range that really hits that great, throaty mid-range that I just fucking love so much. Songs like the currently playing No Church of Mine, my personal favourite tracks, All Hail the King, and Godless Congregations are all very memorable songs with tight, precision, blast beat drumming, melodic, tremolo-picked riffs, and some fan-fucking-tastic breakdowns to boot. These guys just continue to blow me away with how their live shows are so fucking intense, sporting the corpse paint and hooded cloaks that you would expect from the black metal scene. These guys really deliver on a phenomenal live performance, man. Seriously, so fucking good. If you're also interested in checking something related to this out, I highly recommend the frontman Aiden's side project Doom Cave. The debut album Woe Begone came out last year, and it was an absolute titan of doomy, blackened, mysterious, dark, ethereal metal. So fucking cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of the Septillion camp next time, so go ahead, check out their fucking merch store where you can pick yourself up some sick fucking threads. Their debut CD, it's fucking well worth it, man. Oh, fuck, man. Get ready for some grooves. Get ready for some fucking slams, dude. This is Bunbury's Suffer in Rot. The best way that I can describe these cunts is a backyard 4X Winnie Blue swollen version of Chris Barnes era Cannibal Corpse, but it is so much more than that. Their debut album, Ever Tried Kill, came out a few years ago, and I've been obsessed with it ever since, man. The title track, songs like Mother's Rape, just absolutely brutally fucking catchy, man. These guys have some disgusting fucking riffs, all wrapped up so nicely by frontman the maniac, the one and only John Ryan's low-end, just inaudible level gutturals mixed in with these great, shrieky, cackling highs. This is really memorable, groovy fucking stuff, man. Constantly changing up the rhythms. Again, more on the simplistic side of death metal, but it's so fucking effective. It's so infectious, it's really hard not to bang your fucking head to every track on this album. I was trying to keep up a bit of a theme with this video with the fucking shirts. Going to be changing shirts per band I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I don't have a Suffer and Rot shirt, so you're just going to have to fucking pretend that I'm wearing one or some shit like that, eh? All of this is available on Bandcamp. I highly recommend that you guys check it out. As with Septillion and everything else, the link to the Bandcamp will be in the description below. I urge you guys to check them out because this is the fucking best fucking local death metal that I've heard in a really long time. And I mean, in terms of quality music that sounds like old school Cannibal Corpse, you really can't go past these guys. Fucking Sanzu, cunt! If you haven't heard Sanzu, then what the fuck are you doing, man? Seriously. These guys have been affectionately dubbed by me and a few of my friends as Perth Jira. These guys are local, home fucking grown Perth, fucking extreme metal at its finest, man. Such an interesting blend of styles. The most noticeable comparison these guys get is Gojira, with their heavily syncopated rhythms, tremolo picks, heavy use of pick scrapes and natural harmonics, all of the ingredients and the building blocks that Gojira used to make their sound. But Sanzu are so much more than that comparison. Despite the affectionate nickname, these guys actually have a very unique and diverse sound that is very their own. They have riffs that are pummelingly heavy before moving across to hypnotic, swaying fucking percussive rhythms that are so infectious, it's really difficult not to get caught up. And plus, the vocals, man, some of my favourite vocals of any band I've ever heard. That's gonna sound like brown nosing, but I'm fucking serious, man. As soon as I heard the debut track off their debut album, Heavy Over the Home, The Old Orchard Floor, just absolutely mind-blowing, man. These guys are such a tight fucking unit. Everything they've written is phenomenal. They have no filler material whatsoever. Absolutely phenomenal, game-changing stuff. The hypnotic rhythms on tracks such as the currently playing Ubirti, or the absolutely brutal Flesh Tailor, just completely mental. My personal favourite track though, Those Who Sleep in the East, for its just phenomenal rise and fall, tension and release. This is just a masterclass on clever, powerful fucking songwriting, man. Check the fuck out of Heavy Over the Home. Once again, link to the merch store below. You can pick yourself up a fucking t-shirt as I've got here with the metal elephant. Don't know really how much of that you can see. My favourite fucking t-shirt, man. These guys are so fucking good, you must check them out. Good fucking times with this band, man. My boys in All This Filth, another Bunbury-based band. This is industrial groove metal. So fucking tight. This is just some really stellar fucking songwriting. So many influences come to mind. Most predominantly, though, would have to be a mixture of like Pantera and Fear Factory. That's just my impressions from listening to a lot of their music. They have released their debut album, 11 Past. An EP that was recently released called Programmed to Suffer. The currently playing track is the title track, and my god, if this shit ain't so goddamn catchy. This EP, their music, it's written for mosh pits, man. It's written for fast walls. It's written for bouncing on the balls of your fucking feet. It's hard not to get addicted. Shout out to my fucking mate Brendan Preston, the fucking front man of these cunts, man. These guys do a lot of really good work in our local metal community as well. Big representation of just how cool the fucking West Australian metal scene can be. Very big fucking fan of these guys. I can't wait to finally get some new tunes from these cunts. Holy shit, once again, link to the fucking Bandcamp. You're just doing yourself a disservice if you don't pick up Programmed to Suffer, man. Because if you don't break the speed limit to that shit, then I don't know fucking what will make you break the speed limit. Fuck, man, this shit is awesome. Remission. Fuck, these cunts are cool, man. I replaced Trivium with Remission so fucking long ago, man. Seriously, I just way prefer this fucking style. The comparisons to the old school Ascendancy Trivium sound have been made by numerous people that I know, comparing these guys to them. But again, I feel like it just does not sum them up properly, man. These riffs are just so tight, fucking catchy as shit. Pretty young band too, considering that they have released an EP stated as a blending of vicious thrash metal and metalcore elements. Fucking so sick. The EP is called Genocide, featuring tracks like The Sadist, the title track Genocide, and my personal favourite song, The Lone Survivor. Absolutely stellar fucking shit. Great bass work from my mate Aaron. Really, really accomplished style. Very fluid, smooth motion bass work on this fucking release, man. Really enjoy it. Again, just such a hard-working effort. These guys have played so many fucking shows. Very hard-working band. Very nose-to-the-grindstone sort of mentality. I've seen them live a couple of times, and I've been very impressed every single time. I'm running out of things to say about these guys, man. Seriously, just check out their EP. Again, fucking link in the description. Get this shit in ya. Have you ever wondered what it would sound like if, say, Strapping Young Lad, Fear Factory, Meshuggah, and Pantera were all the best elements and the most diverse, unique aspects of their music were sort of brought together into this smelting pot of brutality, melody, catchiness, and just completely subversive songwriting? Then you seriously need to be checking out Second Grade Renegade. Fuck, these cunts have been going for quite a fucking while, and I'm astounded that they haven't picked up a bigger following so far, man. Fronted by one of the sickest cunts in the Perth scene, Mr. Dion Cheesewright. I'm flabbergasted that these guys haven't really picked up so much more. They have a debut EP out at the moment, which is just eviscerating my fucking stereo, man. This shit's never strayed too far away from my stereo. This shit is just, it's like crack for me, man. Holy shit. I am a huge Strapping Young Lad fan. Devin Townsend, perhaps my greatest musical idol. I love their songwriting. I love the quirky aspects to it. I love the curveballs that they throw in. And Second Grade do almost all of these things, man. So many interesting little changes. Fucking so much dynamics to the fucking vocals, man. Holy shit. There is so much going on. Every song is fundamentally different, but still so similar at the same time. This shit is addictive to listen to, man. Hooks for days. Like everything else I've talked about, man. Everything I've talked about in this video so far. Super fucking catchy. Irresistible. Just so difficult to get out of your fucking head. So many earworms. Every track on this EP I found to be a major earworm. My personal favourite track, the barely over 2 minute Crux. An absolute scathing, satirical indictment of our modern political and religious systems. Absolutely phenomenal fucking shit, man. Great songwriting, as I said before. Tight fucking instrumentals shit as well. This shit is deceptively technical, man. Like, there is a lot of time changes going on. A lot of really cool, syncopated drum beats moving in and out of the exact rhythm of the guitar lines. It's just phenomenal shit. It's challenging, it's fun, it's engaging, it's everything you want in a solid fucking metal EP release. I cannot wait for these guys to finally release some new material. I guarantee you it will be an absolute game changer of a release. But until then, man, you have to satiate yourself with this fucking release. Second Grade Renegade. Check it the fuck out, man. Here we fucking are, cunts. We're at the last fucking band we're going to be talking about today. And honestly, full-on personal bias here. This is my favourite local Perth band. These cunts shred so fucking hard. They fucking slam so goddamn hard. And they honestly win the fucking #1 spot for me, just personally, out of, I've seen them so many goddamn times. They're always fucking phenomenal live. Always a good time. And it's just some of my favourite songs written in the Perth scene that I have ever fucking heard. I am, of course, talking about Bayview fucking Suspect, cunt. So these guys have been compared a number of times to a mixture of Lamb of God and Whitechapel. And whilst I can see some similarities, some correlations between those two, they've definitely moved into a much more unique and Bayview sound since the release of their debut EP, To Whom It May Concern. They have released 2 singles in Paralysis and It's Pronounced Nuclear. Two phenomenal fucking singles off the bat of an awesome fucking EP that got so many rotations from me. I've just ingrained this goddamn shit onto my DNA at this stage. Absolutely kick-ass fucking songwriting, man. Holy shit. Everything about this is tight as fuck. And from a critique, like an objective critique point of view, there is very little that I can fault with the songwriting here, man. The drums are so booming and fucking varied. There's so much going on. The riffs are chuggy, technical, brutal, melodic. They're everything at the same time encapsulated in at times in a singular song. And of course, I'd be remiss if I did not mention Johnny's fucking vocals, man. Holy shit, this cunt can spit at a phenomenal fucking pace, keeping up with the likes of George Fisher in his fucking prime. At the same time, shitloads of vocal dynamics, a lot of different tones and registers, high-end, low-end, mid-range, all meeting and creating a very diverse listening experience. There's one thing that you can never accuse Bayview of being: it's boring. These guys always keep things so fucking fresh. Right off the bat with their debut EP, the first track, Earth Realm, fucking homage to Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat legacy, is a grooving slam fest, but then moving into the much more interesting, melodic, technical Wither and Rot. And from there, just the fucking sky is the limit, seriously, man. There is so much going on. And whilst there are definitely core elements, there are breakdowns, there are chuggy riffs, there are solos, there are fantastic melodic leads, and there's just so much diversive changes in the music itself. So many great time changes that it's engaging all the fucking way through, man. I'm hard pressed to name like an inferior Bayview Suspect song, to be honest, because I think that they all sit on a really strong level. There's almost this mentality with the songwriting, man, just from a listener's perspective, that everything is written for the sake of catchiness, man, for the sake of memorable fucking riffs and slamming breakdowns. It's super infectious, and if I'm being totally honest, I do think that these guys put on some of the best live performances in WA, man. I know that's a big fucking statement to say, man, but I have yet to be at a Bayview show where I was not just completely floored, 100% entertained, and bruised as shit from the inevitable mosh pit that ensues, which, unless you've not really been to too many club or pub gigs in your local scene, not every band has the luxury of having pits at their shows. So the fact that Bayview almost always have pits going at their shows, I think, is a sign of the natural intensity that they bring to the stage. So that's going to be it today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something today. I hope that you take the time to check these bands out. And of course, I hope that you take the time to check out the bands in your local scene. And if you have any bands that you think are just fucking sensational, that you want me to mention in a Bands You Might Be Listening To series, I would really like to turn this into a sort of episodic series of videos. It just takes some time to get the bands together, get the stuff that I want to talk about together. But if you have any bands from the Perth scene or anywhere else that you think I might have missed, it's impossible to fucking name every goddamn good band. If you think I've missed any good, really fucking good ones, leave it in the comments fucking below, man. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Also, make sure that you take the time to check out the stuff that I have shared today, as contributing on a financial level is really what helps these bands get up off the ground, play more shows, and put out more music. And that's what we all fucking want, isn't it? So don't be a stingy cunt. Pay for the fucking music. Get yourself a shirt at the same fucking time. Support your local fucking scene, cunt. And until next time, you fuckers stay sick.